posted some of
I
the
got you. I got
conversation. All right. All right. So just so you know, we're live on YouTube, so they can hear you.
Hello, hello.
All right. Join us in our private community on Skool. And of course, you'll see the link in our bio. So you can join us with the private conversation. That way you can see everybody that's in the community and we can talk to you exactly the way that we want to, because there's just certain things we can't say on social media. But I decided to go live. I know this is typically, hey, Miss Jennifer, it's typically members only on Mondays. But I decided to go live because we have a special guest, which is the granddaughter of Dr. Beverly Northern, and she is amazing. Comes from obviously an amazing lineage, and so happy to have her. We're gonna talk to you guys for a little bit out loud, but once we get to the end and our members have some health questions, we're gonna cut you off because you gotta join the group. All right, all right, all right. So, all right. So we got a few people here from different social media platforms, and like I said, we're gonna chop this up and post a little bit on or repost some of these sometime this week on social media platforms, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and of course in our Skool. So without further ado, I want to welcome Miss Beverly Tisby.
Hello. Thank you for having me. So grateful for the opportunity, for the experience.
You're welcome. You're welcome. 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 Yeah. So, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got started.
Awesome. So my name is Beverly. If anybody knows me from my youth, I am Lil Beverly. So I am the granddaughter of Dr. Beverly Nicholson, who was renowned herbalist in Chicago, honestly, all around America. She traveled the country, the world, sharing her expertise, her knowledge with everybody. Sorry. She had her own TV show back in the late 90s to the early 2000s called Make the Herbal Connection in Chicago, and she also did a call-in show in Chicago as well. She had her own health spa called the Herbal Connection in Chicago on the South Side. And so how my whole journey started with like health and wellness, it all started whenever I was born. So I'm named after my nana. I'm also Beverly, and pretty much my mom was trying to get pregnant, and she ended up having a miscarriage Thanksgiving of 1998. Yeah, she had a miscarriage Thanksgiving of 1998, and once my nana found out, my nana put her on red raspberry, Dawn Quai, like put her on a bunch of female corrective herbs, and I'm a Scorpio. My birthday is November 6th, so I was here, a year later. So me even being here has been like prophesized by my family. Really, my nana has been a conjuring of herbs. You get what I'm saying? So really, it's like I'm not new to it. I'm kind of like true to it. Like that's my entire my entire being. And so I was raised by my nana the first 6 years of my life. So I spent really most of my time with her. We would go, at the office. She'd be recording her show. I used to always see her interacting with people, helping people. We traveled everywhere together, and I remember always just watching her be of service to people. And so I was always with my nana. 2006 is when she passed away. She ended up getting breast cancer, and she passed away May 2nd of 2006. And so from 2006 all the way up until, I'd say, January of last year, so around this time last year, I was not into like health, wellness, anything like that, right? So like eating crazy, doing whatever I want. I was eating, I was drinking alcohol, I was vaping, like I was just doing whatever. I wasn't health conscious. I was very woke, so to say, right? So like, I remember when the whole thing happened with Trayvon Martin, rest in peace. That was like my kind of like first time awakening. I was 12 years old. So I've always been very conscious of the experience of Black people and very conscious of spirituality and health and knowing that it's wealth, but I just didn't know how to apply it and what that looked like. And I remember being how old was I? I remember being like 18 or 19 and kind of like hitting my wits end, and I like fell to my knees, said a prayer, and I like cried out. I was like, I just wish that I had some type of guidance. Like I wish that I could learn all of these amazing things that I know that my Nana knew. I wish that I could learn them from her. I felt like I was kind of robbed of that experience because my mom's not into herbs like that. My uncle's not into it. So the want and the need for that kind of like skipped a generation. And so I kind of felt like I was robbed of that because my Nana passed when I was 6 years old. Prayed, I gave it to the earth, gave it to the universe, and then I just lived my life. And then September of 2024, my Nana's mentee, Medina Nance, which she's an amazing person that like, if I don't know if anybody has Facebook, but if you have Facebook, go find Medina Nance. She posts so much great information about just like health, wellness, like home remedies, like the whole nine. And she's been doing that forever. But she reached out to me and she was like, I'm cleaning out my basement. I've got a bunch of stuff for you, come get it. Now, I live in Texas. She lived in Chicago. Drove to Chicago like a week later. Got 30 tapes of my Nana's TV show talking about colon cleansing, gut health, men's health, women's health, like seminars, like the whole nine. And it was so crazy. I went up there like maybe the middle of September. And by November 1st, I took a leave of absence from my job. I was working a corporate job. I was working for a bank, a big bank, making good money, in that corporate field. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't. Like, this is just not aligned with me and my spirit. And I'm like, clearly this is all happening for a reason. Clearly these tapes have like fallen in my lap, a prayer being answered 5 years later. Yeah. So I was like, I just can't do it. So I took a leave of absence from work and really like got into studying. Like I listened and watched my Nana's tapes every single day. And it's so crazy being able to hear her voice. I had to they're these super old tapes too. So I had to go and get them converted. So I didn't see it, or like I didn't get to see a full tape until I think December, right? So I had it in September and I was like, nah, I know this is gonna change my life once I see these tapes. And it honestly did. I started posting on TikTok in like February of 2025, and it just like it really changed my life. It made me like really fully start to believe in myself, in herbs, in what my lineage was. And yeah, it was a crazy experience. I spent the first couple of months talking a lot about my Nana's journey and my Nana's experience. And then I ended up having a really bad sciatic. Like, I weighed 317 pounds when this was going on, right? So I'm big as hell, right? So like, I'm going through this and I'm trying to tell people like how to take care of themselves, but I wasn't taking care of myself. And my sciatic nerve ended up getting pinched. I couldn't walk. I couldn't move. It was horrible. My eczema had flared up so bad that like I had rashes all over my neck, all over my face. My eyes were like peeled and scabbed over. Inside my arms, it was just bad. And I remember being like, something's got to give. This was March of 2020. Yeah, this was like March of 2025. I was like, something's got to give. Like, I got to lock in, figure something out, because I'm sick and I know it's my body telling me that what's inside needs to come out, period, point blank, So I went and I did the colon cleanse that my Nana, that was what she was known for, right? The colon cleanse. She called it the fountain of youth. It changed her life. My Nana used to have sebaceous cyst under her right arm. She used to smoke a pack of cigarettes a day. Like, my Nana didn't get into health and wellness until she was in her mid-30s. It was 1984 when she got into it. Mm-hmm. And, it really changed her life. So I spent a lot of time sharing that story. And then I finally had my own experience where I did the colon cleanse for 30 days and it it ultimately changed my life and changed my own understanding of how the body works, how the toxins work within our body, how we're ultimately killing ourselves by recycling all of these toxins in our body by not expelling all the shit that's inside of us, if I'm being honest, you know. And we don't realize how toxic we are inside and how harmful the things are that we consume. And people don't realize how much impact and waste that they have inside of them until they release it. I didn't realize it until I released all of that. And I was like, wow. Ended up fasting for a couple of days while doing a cleanse, and just mucus, you know, like I'm not even eating. I didn't eat for like 7 days, nothing, just water, water. I'm letting out pounds of mucoid plaque, pounds of mucus, you know, things that people, you tell that people and they don't believe you until they experience it, you know? So that was kind of how that's how I got my story of going through that experience and understanding that cleanliness is truly next to godliness. And once we get our body together, once we cleanse our body, we can open our mind and really understand that, like, we're being controlled. We're being controlled by the food. You know, these things are for profit. You would think as science has developed over the years that it would be to create more nutrient dense food, and it's been the complete opposite. So that's kind of like my story, and a little bit of my mission too is that, you know, when you learn better, you do better, and people need to know what's going on so they can make the conscious decision to make better choices.
All right. Okay, so on YouTube, they are going nuts with the questions and the hearts and the comments and all this kind of stuff. But I got questions first, so I'm going first, and then I'll maybe scroll through with y'all. All right. So we got a decent little crowd here, and
Nice.
so I'm gonna have you back up a little bit. You said at one point you started listening to your inner voice. So can you paint a picture on how that was like? Because you know it's a different experience for everybody, and then some people think it's like, okay, when I hear something, is that really me? Is that God? Is that just random in my head? How did you know to listen to it? What did it sound like, and then how did you know to listen to it?
Right. So for me, when it comes to like my inner voice, right? So I can say all of the time leading up to me, I'd say doing a cleanse. I feel like I started getting peaks of intuition a little bit beforehand, but it's just like you have this knowing, you have this feeling in your stomach. At least with me, you know, I don't know anybody else's experience, but for me, I if I don't hear my voice, I can feel it. I can feel when I'm doing something that is led, right? So, like, for example, I went to the gym a couple of days ago and there was a lady. I took my cousin and we were leaving. There was a lady in her SUV in front of me. I watched her hop out and I said, "Oh, wow, her body looks nice." Because I'm like, her body looks nice. She's at the gym. I need to go ask her some questions. I'm like, okay, I'm about to hop out the car and go ask her. And then my cousin's like, "No, don't do that. That's weird." But in my spirit, in my gut, something's telling me get out and go talk to her. So I was like, "Girl, okay, whatever. You continue sitting here on your phone. I'm about to go get out and talk to her." And she hopped, and I thought she was gonna go inside the gym, and I was gonna have to chase her down, but she didn't. She ended up popping her trunk and sitting in, you know, the back of her SUV or whatever, scrolling on her phone. And I got out the car, started talking to her. Come to find out, she works as like a medical assistant at like a gastrointestinal office or something like that. And she's a super sweet. She's an older lady. She's like in her 40s, but she's super into health and wellness. She's super into, you know, going on hikes. And so I found someone that is super aligned in what I like to do just by me listening to my stomach, listening to my first initial thought and going to talk to her, you know. And I've been leaning a lot into that more, especially this year. But you just know you have this feeling. You have to trust yourself. Like now I do this thing where like I work part-time at a at a convenience store, and whenever I go there, like I used to always have the GPS going. I used to always have the GPS, always have the GPS. But then I was like, no, you know where you're going. Turn it off and trust yourself. You know, it's little things like that where you have to build your trust within yourself so that you can go ahead and you know when it's you talking because you've built that trust with yourself. So it's little things like that that we don't realize that we're doing subconsciously. Like following the GPS when we know exactly where the hell we're going, that allows us to not trust ourselves, you know? So it's like little things like that. You just have to build it up over time, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. But it's just a deep-seated knowing. Like, I feel it in my gut, for sure.
Right. Okay. And honestly, that part is why I think there's such a big attack on us, especially because there's a lot of other folks that if they're not eating as clean or whatever, they can't tap in. But we can be
Right.
full of stuff because we're targeted to eat full of stuff, but we still have that inner knowledge that is tugging at us. Now, the question is, do we listen to it or not? Obviously, not always, not all people, but
Right.
we do still definitely have that feeling inside. It's like something's telling me to do X, Y, and Z. But somebody on the social media platform was like, "How old are you?" Because you were like, "There's a this is an older lady." You was like, "She's 40," and I'm like, I had the same question. But yeah, so they want to know how old you are, how young you
well,
are.
I consider myself a baby when it comes to being in this space because I'm only 26, right? So like everyone that I connect with, for the most part, is older. So when I say older, I might be talking about somebody 32 too, because they are just a little bit older than me. But no, you want to get older. I definitely don't think old is, for us, old ain't bad. We don't care about aging and lines or nothing like that. But yes, I'm 26, and I don't really, a lot of my mentors or people that I connect with are older than me because oftentimes people kind of like in this space within my age group, they're in it for different reasons, if I'm being completely honest, you know. And I'm in it for the love of the game, you know. So
right. Got you. Okay. Let's see. Leaving your corporate job, how long ago was that first? Before I ask you.
So that was, I sent in my resignation, June 4th of last year. Okay. So not quite a year, but it has been a year since I last stepped foot in that office because I went on a leave of absence for a few months too because I was like, maybe I will go back, you know, because it's consistent money. And even like now, there are situations where I'm like, oh, maybe I should go back to the corporate world or to the corporate office. And I feel in my gut that that's not what I need to be doing because it's a waste of my energy and a waste of my time, especially because I work at this convenience store and I connect and encounter so many people on a day-to-day basis that need or are looking for like what it is that I have to offer them in regards to just them trying to understand what's going on with them, the gut-mind connection, little things like that, because I don't know if you can tell, but I love talking. So like I'm checking somebody out. I'm like, you got these laxatives? You need some cascara. What's going on with you? Who you buying these laxatives? You know, like that's just me because I know that my voice is the most powerful thing that I have, and I'm not somebody that's like, oh, I've got to have 1 million followers before I feel like, you know, I'm doing something. Like, no, if I can help that guy get off of Miralax and get him on some cascara instead, I'm gonna do that. I'm not gonna sit back and think that just because where I am right here in this moment that the work that I'm doing isn't important. No, it's extremely important, and I'm doing it right where I need to be doing it. So it's corporate America is just not my. It's grimy, and I learned that at a very young age because I've only worked at 2 different places. I used to be a manager at Walmart, and I did that for like 3 years. I was working there. I became a manager after like 3 months. It was crazy. Did that for like 3 or 4 years, and then I immediately hopped over and went into the finance industry. So I'm a licensed stockbroker. So I went and I got my Series 7, my Series 63, financial licenses, which that was just a crazy taxing experience too. But that kind of taught me that I could do anything that I put my mind to because they tell you, you know, the stock market's so hard and this, that, and the third. And it's like, well, it's math, you know, but I figured it out. You know, you just have to put it all in your brain and then dump it out whenever you go and take that test. But yeah, corporate world's not for you, girl.
No, it's not. Definitely not. Okay. Well, so what I heard is a little bit of fear because you're kind of with your thoughts of going back and forth with like maybe I should. It was cool. It was consistent. because of other things that you're working on, maybe in the entrepreneurial world, is not as consistent, and that, it's a tough game. It's not for the weak at all. So
Right.
I definitely hear you for sure. And that fear, though, is it shows up a lot in our community. Fortunately or unfortunately, it can make you like make a decision, or it can just keep you on the fence forever. And keeping on the
Hmm.
fence is like built up stress. And stress definitely, that used to be one of the things I would hear growing up in our health classes. Oh, you got to manage your stress, and you got to do this and that, get your sleep. Those two things that I heard, I would always just take them for granted and be like, that's whatever, it's not important. Oh, but now in my young
Right.
age at 49, I definitely know how serious those two are. When you and I had a brief conversation, I think last week, you were talking about your grandmother and how she was just helping so many people heal and reverse all kind of disease. Um, she reversed herself from the first time of breast cancer, right? And then
Yes.
years later, it came back. Talk to us about that, on what you think really was going on there.
So, from my honest perspective, and of course, grief is something that I feel like is grief is something that you experience for the rest of your life, right? After you lose someone, because now you have to learn how to live life without this person. So, grief for me, I've had my theories of, oh, they tried to do something to her because she was so, powerful. Because I'm not going to lie, my Nana, I've learned so much over the past just like year about what it is that my Nana was doing in regards to her being like a businesswoman. And my Nana had my dad, my uncle, my mom's boyfriends, cousins, like all around the south side of Chicago, dropping cleanses off. They're selling cassette tapes of my Nana's lectures. Like, I'm like, I didn't know all this was going on. So her message, she was very, very clear and strong about her message being out there and being consumed by the masses, by any means, like she's giving it to the church and the church is going to play it at the, when they're eating after church type thing. Like she didn't play when it came to that. But I truly believe that, as time went on and as my Nana got more and more visible, right, to the masses, that she started to put herself on the back burner and allowed for her constant need and for her gift to kind of, I don't want to be like siphoned, but I just feel like she found herself in a space where she could not put herself first, and that she allowed for the stress and the overwhelming amount of pressure to deteriorate and kind of like destroy her body. And I say that because I know how the body keeps score, and I know that I can only imagine how she felt going to the doctor and even finding out about something like that, especially with how prestigious her role is, so to say. She's the original herb lady, she's not supposed to be sick, so to say. But my one thing I will say is that my Nana never promoted living forever. I have so many videos of her being like, I could die at 50, but at least the last 20 years of my life I've been in great health. I've had fun. I've traveled. And I stand 10 toes behind that, because she did from 84 to 2006. My Nana lived a damn good life. I look at pictures and she's at concerts, and she's at concerts, she's on cruises, she's talking to all these people. She's got pictures with Stevie Wonder, and she's backstage at this concert, and she's doing this. So she lived a damn good life. And when I look at and I talk about like health and taking care of your health, it's not about living forever. It's about being in
Quality of
good
life.
health while you're here. Because I can take care of myself right now, and God forbid, die in a car accident, a plane could crash, anything could happen. So, but that's also another reason why I think that my Nana kind of like worked herself into the grave, is because she had everybody kind of like on her back. My Nana was the matriarch of the family. My Nana, somebody died, they called my Nana. Anytime anybody needed anything, they called my Nana. That was just how it was. And it's not just my mom or my uncle. my cousins, my Aunt B, everybody. And my nana never had a problem with it because that was the role that she assumed within the family. And I know that can be a lot. That can be a lot. Think about running your own health spa. She had employees. They did ear candling, colonics. She was doing consultations 4 days out the week, plus also traveling, doing. She's at the Warner Brothers shows, and it's so crazy. I look back. Like, have you ever used like the Wayback Machine on? So if you go on just the internet, you can type up the Wayback Machine, and you can find old web pages from like 20 years ago. So I found my nana's old website because she was deep in like the internet, social media, chat room game well before us. Like, she was in the spiritual chat rooms at 10:30 on Wednesday and Thursday every night back in 2001. Really like sharing the gospel. She did not play. So like, I was able to go back and look, and she had her schedule posted on her website. She was traveling to at least 7, 8 different places a month, doing seminars at this church, at this event, at this vendor event. She was always spreading the gospel because her whole point, and she always says that she just wants to educate and inform people. It's not about selling a product. It's not about anything like that. I want for you to know that you can make conscious decisions to make better choices in your life. And she lived by that mission, and I'm gonna be honest, she died by it too. Like, I think my nana stopped work. Like, she stopped working maybe 2 weeks, maybe a month before she passed away. Like, she stood 10 toes behind, like, helping everybody until her very last breath. And I commend her for that, but it's a lesson for me being, her offspring, so to say, that I can't sacrifice myself for that. People will pour their energy on you in regards of wanting you to like fix them. Oh, heal me. Oh, it's crazy. I went to this conference in November in California, and I spoke, and it was for the company that my nana had worked with since 1984, Nature Sunshine, and I had like a presentation. I was speaking on stage, and there was a lady in the audience that knew my nana, and she like ran up to me once I got off the stage, and she was like, I have been looking for you for 20 years, Me and her started talking, and it was crazy. She had mentioned that they have a mutual friend, and she was like, to this day, this mutual friend will be like, wow, I wish Beverly was here so she could help me with this, so she could help me with that. And the lady was like, the same, like, Beverly gave us this knowledge before she passed on. What you need to do, because she told you what you needed to do. You can't lean on her even in death for her to heal you and to fix you. And I think that's a great lesson. And it was so eye-opening for me to hear that and see how dependent people were on just her energy, just her giving them the answers when she gave them the answers, but it was up to them to use it. And that's what I feel like my passion is for, and how I utilize this, is that I'm here to educate and inform you. I'm never going to tell you this is what you need to do to heal yourself. This is what you need to do. No, I'm going to give you the information. I'm going to educate. I'm going to inform you, and then from that point on, you can make the conscious decision and the choices on how to better yourself in your life, because you know what to do. And people don't realize how hard that can be on somebody.
Oh yeah.
Having to take on their stress, their ailments, people with cancer, people with all these things that are going to my nana. And even like my nana had so many ties with like the governor, the Senate, like things like that she's got all these like responsibilities. I can only imagine what that weight is like on her shoulders, So it's like, I know the body keeps score, and it wouldn't shock me if that was a main contributor to her demise, if I'm being completely honest, because that's how life is. Yeah. That's how it goes. If you're not taking care of yourself, and if you don't set clear boundaries, people will walk all over you. And granted, my nana was a straight shooter. Hold on, I got my flashlight and put on, my alarm's going off. Yeah, my nana was a straight shooter. You know, she did not play at all. You can
Yeah.
ask anybody about her. She did not play. And that's what people loved about her. That's what they respected about her.
Right.
But at a certain point, you know, we're we're empathetic. We want to help. We want you to do what's best for you, type thing. And you know, it's a hard balance. You know, the scales definitely tip when it comes to. I feel like this line of work because we do care. We do see how if one generation does it right, I'm the living proof of it. If one generation does it right, even if it skips the other one, it can still pick back up. You get what I'm saying? So it's like you just gotta plant these seeds so that they can sprout. And that's all my nana wanted to do was to plant those seeds. And
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
self-sacrifice.
Right. That part. I mean, oh my gosh, you are dropping. I so wish she was still here, and obviously I know you do as well. But like you said, her teachings are still here, her energy is still here, her spirit's still here, and so there's a lot that we can continue to learn, which is amazing because there's so much of other people that are no longer here, and we don't have anything. And that's why I always try to
Exactly.
tell people, it's like talk to your family members. Get to know, like ask your questions before it's too late, because you only have this time. But
Exactly.
yeah, man, so the energy is definitely real as far as taking on other people's stress. That is the main reason why I created an online program for myself. I used to do
Mm-hmm.
one-on-ones, and then it turned into like small groups. But I was like, if I really want to affect more people um, faster and quicker, I have to create an online space to where people just click and play, basically, because
Right.
again, I got to protect my energy and boundaries, like you were saying. And I was like, this is starting to, like, because I take on the weight of what someone else is going to. And just today, the more I post, I'm starting to post more on my personal Facebook page as well. And so I've
Mm-hmm.
been doing that for probably about a month or so. And of course, the attraction is going up. And I just had two family members reach out to me today, and I called one of them back, and she was like, "Oh, well, I'm not feeling great right now, but I definitely need to talk to you because I'm just not doing good at all. It's been like this for a while." And I'm like, God, please send me more people that want to do prevention medicine. You know what I mean? It's like y'all are
Exactly.
waiting till y'all can't get out of the bed before you call
Yep.
me, and you're my family member. You've known me since I wasn't even here, like, and like,
Yeah.
oh my God, like, why do we keep waiting? So one
Exactly.
one quick thing I want to share with people right now. If you ever get sick, and I'm talking about something as minimum as a cold or a sniffles, anything like that at all, you need to take preventative care seriously, because we are not supposed to get sick ever. Not at all. Not even a cold, not a sniffle, no dripping on the nose, nothing. So your body is always already communicating to you, hey, we don't really like what you're putting in us. So let's just try to see if we can do better. Please stop
Right.
waiting until the end, because I it I say never too late. However, but why would you take that chance? Why would you put your body in that situation where it's like, I can barely move? And I'm like, y'all want a miracle from me, where it's like, I, I don't know. So yeah, I have set some boundaries. I do what I can, but I got to make sure that I protect my peace as well. But
Yeah, for sure.
yeah,
Because people call you and it's always, oh God, why me? Why am I in so much pain? But it's like, why not you? You haven't done anything. You ain't been outside in weeks. You don't walk no more than 1,000 steps a day. You ain't had
get
water in
that
ages. You don't know when the last time you had any whole food,
right.
any whole food item. You have no clue. You couldn't. You can't even tell me the last time you went and took a crap. You couldn't tell me. You get
Listen,
what I'm saying? So it's why?
the first
Why
video
should
that
I?
I found, the first video I found of your grandmother was the one where she's saying, listen, you eat 3 times a day with the snacks in between, and you only go and crap 1 time a day. That's 7 craps a week, but 21 meals going in your
21
body.
meals and 7 eliminations. Where are the other 14? being coated by mucus. We're just full of mucoid plaque because the food can't break down. So what happens? More mucus is created because your body's like, what is this foreign object inside you? What's going on? So now you got all this impacted mucus and waste inside of you. Then guess what? Now you got some little critters here. You got some parasites that are just going to burrow down into that waste because they love that. They live in the filth. They live in the toxins. They love that. Burrow down in there, and you can be like, oh yeah, well I'm about to go eat clean. I'm about to get better. And then parasites are going to be like, actually, you're not. They're going to hit that little sensor in your gut and tell your brain, nah, I want me a Popeyes box tonight. You know, like that's how all that works. And people don't understand that this is all cause and effect. People need to understand the gut-brain axis. Understand that there are living creatures inside of you. There are parasites inside of everybody in America. You cannot tell me any different. That's what controls your thoughts. That's what controls your cravings are the parasites. And the reason why they're so strong is because the food that's being created in these damn labs that have neuroscientists on payroll. Why would a food company have a neuroscientist on payroll, first of all, right? They have them on payroll. You're so addicted to it because they're making your pleasure responses like go through a million. It's worse than being on fentanyl. Like, it's so insane. But people don't understand the system that's at play. Like, we're being attacked at all angles. Please, somebody listen. Like, it just stresses me out, man.
Yeah, right. Look, you gonna stress your own self out, like worried about them. But man, have you created your own boundaries for yourself?
I have. I definitely have. I used to be very like, people would come to when I first posted my videos. I had a video about fibroids go like kind of super viral, and people were in my inbox and my comments going crazy. And you know, I would send them the link to like the herb that my nana would talk about. It's like a blood purifier called ET, and I would send them like the information for people being my DMs like, I've got cancer, I've got this, and I need to know what to do. And it's like, I remember it was like a month where I spent a lot of time in the DMs, on the phone talking to people. Then by the end of it, I was extremely drained because I realized oftentimes people are, I don't want to say people are like siphoning your energy, but like you give people all this information and then they don't do anything with it. So that's why I'm like, I don't care about sharing the ingredients to the colon cleanse on TikTok because 99% of the people that see the video aren't going to actually use it, you know? And I've had videos go viral and people that actually wanted to do the cleanse went out and bought the stuff for the cleanse, you know what I'm saying? And I'm trying to find the right words for it. They didn't trauma dump on me in the DMs beforehand in regards to like not trying to get a response, but I just feel like there are a lot of people on the internet who kind of just want to like project what's going on with them onto you instead of actually kind of like looking inside and doing the work and taking the information that's out there, applying it to what they have going on, and then moving forward from that space. You know, and I don't have a problem with being like a leader or being the one that kind of guides someone through it, but I also have my boundaries, you know, like after a certain point, like if you're just in sorry, it's like the air is dry. Oh my goodness.
Take a sip.
Yeah, like if you're in my DMs and you're just like asking, well, I've got this going on, I've got this going on, I've got this going on, and I've had people do that to me for like weeks at a time. And if I don't set a clear boundary, they're just going to keep doing it and I feel like pulling on my energy, you know? So like after a certain point, like I stopped responding to DMs because I was like, it's just kind of crazy. Because there was a video, it got a couple 100,000 views and my DMs were just nuts, you know? And I didn't know how to navigate that. So now I know that like, I guess I learned social media a little bit. So now I know to do like you gotta have a call to action. But my videos don't ever have a call to action. Like maybe in the caption, but you know, I don't know. I do it for the love of the game now. If people want to cleanse, they know that they can just. If you DM me and ask me about a cleanse, it's there. I have the link up. I think maybe in like my link tree, but People DM me and ask me about it. I send them the link and all the information that they need. I don't charge for any information or anything like that. I just send them the information because if they want to do it, they'll buy it. They'll just do it. Like,
see,
so
that's yeah. Go ahead and take a sip because I'm about to put you on something that's from your elder here. That was me 20 years ago, and these people will never stop until you make them stop. All right, so with the whole, there's a reason why there's some companies that are $1 billion companies, $1 million companies, whatever. It's just because they just set up, this is our framework and this is how things go when you want to patronize the products that we sell or whatever. And no, it doesn't have, obviously everybody's different, and anybody in the health and wellness space, especially natural health and wellness space, it's not about money for us. However, we still have bills. We still got to pay for stuff just like anybody else. So to protect your health, to protect the knowledge that you know, because none of that comes to you for free. I spent almost 8 years getting a doctorate, never mind the 4 years of undergrad and another 2 years with a master's. I paid for that. You know what I mean? I got a scholarship with two of the degrees, but I still paid my time and still some money with that. So anyway, I'm saying that to say is that people will, especially sometimes us, people will go and buy alcohol, they'll go buy tennis shoes, they'll go buy clothes, they'll go buy earrings, get their hair done, whatever. But when it comes to getting information from us, hey, they want it for free. And I'm just not going to invest in that kind of mentality. We're just not going to do it. So you have to do those kind of things to let people know, hey, this is valuable. And when you have valuable things, you're going to have to pay for it. That simple thing. I think we lost. There we go. She's coming back. And I think you're on mute, but you're coming back. I can see you coming through. Oh, lost her again. That's okay. We were getting close to wrapping up anyway. I'm not sure if we'll get a chance to get her back on, but definitely join us every Monday for members only Mondays. Wednesdays and Thursdays I go live as well. Sometimes I'll have a guest, sometimes not. It'll be me, but I'm always having a message for you. Okay. Send a message through the community tab. There she is coming back again. But send us a message on the community tab what your questions are, if you have any, and then we'll try to answer them the next time that we go live. But we're going to allow Miss Beverly, I think she's able to come back again just to kind of, as we wrap up. And
can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, my phone overheated.
Oh boy. Your phone felt all the energy and everything, and you getting mad and like, oh, you know what? These people pulling on me and stuff ain't trying to pay me a dime. Listen, your phone feels it. Your phone needs to be charged, right? You gotta charge. You gotta keep yourself charged, like, but not in the way that you get mad because the people aren't paying you your worth, but in a way that is like you're filling up your cup so you can keep on pouring out to the people that actually do want and respect what you do, you know?
Exactly.
Yeah. So if I know we were talking about, you were deciding between setting up a Skool or Substack. If you don't, because it's a lot to manage. If you don't want to manage all of that, consider putting them in this Skool and we can split. I just do $5 a month, which is not going to break anybody. We can split it,
right?
Whatever you want to do, or take whoever you put in here, take the whole 5. I don't care, but it just helps me manage serious people and not so serious people. I'm going to give you free information on what I can on the social media platforms. But then when you come in this private communication and I'm literally helping you with your mindset and your body, yeah, you gotta pay for that just like anything else. So yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it's up to you. Obviously, no pressure, nothing like that at all. But let's see. Uh, all right. What do you want to close this out with?
Let's see. Like, you want me to give like a closing statement,
Or whatever.
or you want like a topic?
You said a topic.
Yeah, like you want a closing statement, or you want like a topic, or let's. This is what I think, right?
Okay.
Everyone that's on here that listens to this, if you can take anything from this conversation, is that you have the power and the authority and the sovereignty over your life, over your mind, over your body, over your spirit. You just have to make the conscious decision. Oftentimes you don't realize that it's your subconscious that's running your life, that's running you ragged. You just got to tap into that. Understand that you have the power, you have the control. You are the God in your life. God is within, God is you. You make the choices. The food doesn't have to control you. The self-doubt doesn't have to control you. Your insecurities don't have to control you. You are who you create. You are that. You know, you are who you wake up as every day. And you've got to believe that. You've got to stand true in that. Fear isn't a real thing. Fear, I've told myself, is just, maybe I'm just excited. Maybe I'm just excited. Do the thing that you're afraid of. Do the thing that makes you nervous. Do the thing that makes you uncomfortable. Because this time last year, I wouldn't even believe that I'd be on a call with someone as intelligent and as beautiful, as amazing, as inspiring as Dr. D. So I need you to understand that as long as you take inspired action, as long as you show up for yourself, as long as you care for your mind, body, and spirit, everything that you imagine will come to fruition. You just have to dream it. Use your mind. The mind is the creator of the world. You have access to it. You can control it. Anything that's negative, it's not really you. You are the master of this world. And I'm speaking from my own personal experience, because, again, this time last year, I wouldn't even believe that somebody would want to hear what it is that I have to say. And now I know that what I have to say is important, and it's revolutionary, and it's life-changing. And it took me believing in myself for others to believe in me. So just believe in yourself, and you can change the world. You can change your world. That's all that matters.
Right. All right. Oh man, that was beautiful. That was beautiful. And again, I appreciate the compliments. Man, if you guys are interested in, so they're asking, it's Make the Herbal Connection, right?
Yeah, Make the Herbal Connection on Instagram and TikTok.
Okay. All right. In case you guys didn't hear that clearly, you can reach her on TikTok and Instagram at Make the Herbal Connection. And of course, for the Skool members, I will post it on a post, and then you guys can connect with her, and she'll be in the group for at least a week or so, and then we'll see.
Yeah, I'm in here full time. I got you. I'm in here full time.
Look at you. All right. I'll see if I can change the thing. I don't know if I can, the way that it's set up, where I can change it to make it free for you or whatever. I'm gonna look into that and see if I can.
You're okay.
But
you're okay. We support each other. I got you.
You are awesome. You are so dope.
Of course.
So dope.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I genuinely do.
You're welcome. And let her know if you guys want to do a group fast. She would be the leader on that. And as far as, or the cleansing, or both.
Yeah, the group. Yeah, we're going to do a group cleanse starting April 16th. So,
okay.
Everybody can get prepared.
All right. April 16th, we're going to do a group cleansing. And do you want it to be, do you have a private community you want to have it closed in, or are you going to do it wide, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll do a closed, like a private community for the people that actually want to do it, like that. Well, I don't know, because I've kind of been looking into Skool a little bit more, and I kind of like the fact that you can have like kind of like the members only, like videos and stuff like that, you know. So I don't know, I'm kind of still teeter-tottering, but I think it will be more like a private community where we're all sharing what we're eating and what, you know, that kind of thing. So
yeah, I do like Skool, because I looked in the Substack, looked at the young lady you told me about, And it just didn't flow. I had to keep going back and forth. It just didn't flow with how to get on there without having to read a whole lot of instructions.
Yeah.
With I got too much going on up here. If I have to read directions, it really ain't for me. So with Skool, I was able to navigate easily around it without even having to think about it. And like you said,
Right.
I just learned. I did take an extra step to learn about the different platforms. We have I forgot what they call the basic one, and then there's a premium, and then there's a VIP. So you can put people
Yeah.
in different categories, and they won't see what you don't want them to see. So I like
Right.
that. Yeah. So, but anyway, I'm gonna let you go so your phone can cool down and
Yeah.
you can get your zen back and all that good stuff. And we'll connect very soon. All right.
Yes, for sure. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a great night. Thank you for joining us. Stay blessed, everyone. When you learn better, you do better.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. And then, of course, get the mental right to where you want to do better. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Thank you. Have a good night. Is that you?
All right. I think that's my other phone. I had to get on my other one. Yeah. What's going on?
All right, man. Well, you have a great rest of your night.
Thank you. You too. Bye bye.
All right. See you.